The concept of FIRE is beautiful. And even can you do it like the way they're talking about? Yeah, you can, but that's not the most convenient or practical smart way, because people basically are pitching pennies and they're depriving themselves of living now for hope of living in the future.
Yes, you can be financially independent and retire early, but still enjoy your life. And it's gonna take you making money outside of your job.
You can't really save your way to wealth. There's nothing wrong with having a job. What you want is to have the option and the freedom to do what you want. You don't want the stress and baggage.
So today we have an interesting question from someone who's looking to better their financial situation. So here is what they said. I've been scrolling through finance blogs and podcasts, and this FIRE thing keeps popping up. Like, it's so different from the usual grind to retirement vibe. I'm curious, what's your take on the whole FIRE movement? Do you think this whole FIRE deal is legit, or are we just setting ourselves up for disappointment? And for those who are wondering what FIRE is, FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early.
So, FIRE is definitely not BS, but that's a big old capital B-U-T. How they preach it is not that practical, right? Like, it's hard. You can't really save your way to wealth. Like, unless you make some kind of dumb salary and you can live on bare bone minimum, because you don't want to put your freedom or your family's freedom tied to the back of a market or anything that you have no control over. So the concept of FIRE is beautiful. Like, and even can you do it like the way they're talking about? Yeah, you can, but that's not the most convenient or practical smart way, because basically with FIRE, right, financial independence, retire early, people basically are pitching pennies. I'm talking about like using a napkin 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, only eating rice and beans and oodles and noodles. You know, and they're depriving themselves of living now for hope of living in the future. And they're putting basically all their money into like an index fund. Now, most people use 401ks. I don't believe in 401ks, right? That's a whole nother story, because you can't control it. You know, we're going to get there in another video. But they put it into some kind of investment vehicle, 401k, IRA, or they max out the Roth to the limit or whatever. And then the rest may be in a brokerage account. And they are hoping and praying that the U.S. economy or whatever stocks they have or indexes keep going like this. Now, as a day trader for years, and one of my main sources of income in my business, one of my businesses, nothing just goes up. Everything has a heartbeat. Things go up. What goes up must come down. So the real way to do FIRE, again, yes, retire early and not trying to, work till 65 and retire. That's beautiful. That's a great thing. But you must start income outside your job, from a business, from another skill, an extra side hustle. I hate using the word side hustle. You will not hear me hear that often, but I'm saying that for other people. But you have to start something, right? AKA a skill or business, to produce more income. That is the only way to truly be financially independent and retire early. If your money depends on the stock market, how are you independent from the market? You're not. You're dependent, because if the market drags you down, you're going down. So you need something to where you can weather that storm. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong, because we have, again, a day trade, right? So that's short-term investing. We have long-term investments. We have a plethora of things and income sources, but we don't depend on one thing. So you want it to where if you do have money in your long-term investments, and that's where you put your money in the index fund and things like that, you have other income to where when it goes down, because it will, right? Nothing goes up forever. I don't care if we're in this bull run forever. Everything, if you study history, I'm a connoisseur of history, everything will correct. So when that happens, you're not panicking, because you have another source of income. So that's the main thing I would say that they miss when they're preaching this to the mass. They make people think it's achievable by going to work 40, 50 hours a week or more, right? Like for me, I work 50 hours a week. Going to work 50 hours a week and then pinching pennies, not going out, not eating, You know, like, trust me, we love saving money. I like saving money, but daggone, you gotta live life too. Like, you know, you may not go overseas and spend $5,000, but dude, you can go to a few hours out to another city or another state, enjoy yourself. You know, like, long as it's measured out, you know, and accounted for and budgeted for. But the main FIRE movement preaches like deprivation, basically. Deprive yourself of stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's a big thing too. Like anything, most of these things can be done. It's just how do you want to do it? Because
Facts.
oftentimes the way that it's preached to the masses, like, is not always the most optimal way that it can be done. And you can change it. There are people who do this FIRE movement, and like my husband was saying, they do it literally like living super frugal and not even enjoying their life. They do it in a way to where it's just like saving every penny they have, not going out at all, not taking any trips, like not buying anything extra, just living bare minimum, saving everything they have and thinking that they're going to be able to retire early. And that doesn't work for everybody because there's inflation, you have a lifestyle inflation, like, you know, rents are going up, groceries are going up,
having children, increase.
Yeah, expenses that come up. So that pocket of money that's there, it's gonna get eaten into in some kind of way. So it's not just like a stockpile of money that you can have and then retire off of. And so that's the way that some people preach it. And another way, which is what we feel like is more doable and the way that it should be done, is yes, you can be financially independent and retire early and, you know, save, but still enjoy your life. And it's gonna take you making money outside of, you know, your job.
It's
like
a must.
More sources of income. And whatever, you know, that is for you. If you want to pick up another job, if you want to get into learning a skill like day trading that my husband does, or whatever it is that you enjoy, if you already have a business idea and you want to actually grow that, do it, because that is going to be the key to actually getting you to do this FIRE movement the correct way. And so to this gentleman who asked the question, is it doable? Yes, but
not
it's just
the way they're preaching.
Exactly. It's going to take a different approach.
And you want to eventually, like, again, just because you start something one way does not mean you have to continue that way, right? A lot of times that's how you get started. So most businesses start off as jobs. That's fine. It's okay to get another job, but eventually you want to get a skill. So one of the biggest things I preach and what we put in a lot of our content and our beliefs is skills pay bills. You know what I'm saying? Skills are what turn to businesses. You want a skill that can grow, right? You don't want to make another job for yourself. And too many people do that. A great book is the E-Myth Revisited. It talks about, like, you know, basically not making another job for yourself and actually creating a business and what that entails and what that takes. Now, you can trade your time for money up front because, again, we all need to make money, right? So if you can do things, if you make an average of $25 an hour or $20 an hour, I use 25, right? Anything that makes you more than that outside your job is a win. Yes. But you want to be thinking, okay, hey, you're spending 4 hours a week on the weekend to do something where you could sell something and make $100, right? Skill, a service, cutting grass, whatever it is. Eventually, you want to learn how to scale that, right? You don't want to be capped at, okay, trading your time for money. And so, again, that's a part of like the business model that we preach when it comes to starting any business, is detaching yourself so you can ultimately increase your income. So, but you have to increase your income. It cannot be just from one source of income. And I also, unlike most people, I'm not an advocate of everybody quitting their job, because truthfully, I've been an entrepreneur and a business owner for a long time. I have a job right now. That's fine, right? I've been self-employed about half. I'm young. I'm 28 years old, right? I've been self-employed for a good portion of my life, and I've had jobs. And there's nothing wrong with having a job. What you want is to have the option and the freedom to do what you want. You don't want the stress and baggage, because there's some good jobs where people making six figures, and I'm like, well, shit, why would you leave? You don't have to. And so many people act like it's all or nothing, like you have to be an entrepreneur, you know, right? Or be fired and quit and leave, or only work. Do both. Do both. You can stack up for FIRE movement and have a business and still invest for your future and do all these things that are going to set you up nicely. And then you don't ever go to work stressed out or go home at night panicking, because you know no matter what, you're good. You have not only your job income, You have this source of income and this source of income.
Options.
You got plenty of options.
Something I want to hone in on that this gentleman said. He said it's so different from the usual grind to retirement vibe. And that honestly makes me cringe, because that's what a lot of people think, is that they have to grind until retirement. And that's not true. That's why we actually like this FIRE movement, but just done differently.
Yeah, it needs to be adjusted a little bit.
Yeah, just done differently from how it's preached in the masses, because we don't believe in working until retirement and then enjoying your life.
You see my face? Bye.
Yeah.
I got sick. I said,
yeah, like
retirement?
You don't want to wait until you're 60, 65, 70 to start enjoying your life.
You can't. I mean, truthfully, like, you can't enjoy that age because there's physical limitations at that point.
Yes.
Like, we are in our late 20s. We can do things now that are 60, so 28, 26. We can, I'm about to say 68. So 28 and 26, we can do things now that somebody who's 66 and 68 physically can't do. We can go to the mountains in Utah and go snowboarding. We can go out of the country and go skiing or go cliff diving. Now, I ain't with too much crazy stuff now, but I'm just saying, like, there's literal physical limitations. Like, we went out of the country like 5 months ago.
Yeah.
5 months ago. Dude, we were backpacking and walking everywhere. I'm talking about, I put more miles on my feet than a Honda Civic. You hear me? Like, we were gone.
Yeah.
But we can do that because we're young.
And that's not to say that there aren't older people who can still move around like that.
But your body naturally is going to deteriorate. That's just nature.
Of course. Because, like, my great-grandmother actually is 88 years old and still moves, like, amazingly. Like, she's 40 or something. But not everybody's like that. And you can't always guarantee that you're going to make it to that point in your life and in that type of health. And why wait that long anyway? Like, you have so much of your life to live and you want to wait until retirement to enjoy that. No. Like, that's not how you want to do things. Like, doing it now and doing it early allows you to take full advantage and enjoy life as much as you want to. Give yourself options. Also give yourself and your family the opportunity to experience life in the way that it should be experienced, which is being enjoyed and not just, waiting until a later age to enjoy that. Truly,
because we are not born to just work and die like that and then have 5 or 10 years of just the golden years and then die. That's not real. Freedom is our birthright, and that's why financial independence and financial freedom is our biggest mission and the thing we're on to help people and guide people in the right direction to achieve financial independence and financial freedom. There are different levels of financial freedom, right? There's literally financial security, independence, and freedom. So, but each one has a different level, but they all give you some type of stress relief and just like reprieve, you know what I'm saying? So
exactly. So to the man who asked this question, FIRE is not just wishful thinking, and you're not setting yourself up for disappointment. You just have to tweak it a little bit from how the masses are preaching it and do it in your own way that aligns with your financial goals and what you see for your life. So if y'all want to stay connected with us, be sure to click on the link in the description.
And if you like making money, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you don't like making money, then don't subscribe. It's that simple.